You don't need to be a botanist or a developer to save your garden. You just need to know how to build an AI agent. I just built an Agentic plant doctor app that thinks, reasons, and diagnoses in real time. I'll be showing you the exact workflow to turn a rough sketch into a live Agentic app. Stick around to the end because I'm fixing a critical React error that is currently breaking almost every AI project. Let's get to it. After getting the summary, we can upload a new plant sleeve and diagnose as well. After inputting the text, I'll click Diagnose Plant and we wait and get what it presents to us. Now we have a new feedback, and this feedback is different from the feedback we got from the previous plant. And this makes me have some more belief that the feedback it gives is just not some random hallucination, but it tries to pay some attention to the plant itself. Previously, it did mention magnesium deficiency. This time around, it mentions potassium deficiency. The recommended care plan includes confirmed deficiency. While visual symptoms strongly suggest potassium deficiency, a soil test can provide definitive confirmation of potassium levels and pH, as pH imbalances can also affect nutrients like uptake. 2. Apply potassium-rich fertilizer. Since it sees potassium deficiency, it recommends applying potassium-rich fertilizer. Next, ensure consistent watering. The fourth part, prone severely affected leaves. Well, I'm not no botanist or good with plants, but reasoning out the feedback we just got here, this sounds pretty in-depth and it sounds pretty true to me. I don't know about you, so you can leave your perception in the comment section. Right here, this very last point, this recommendation, regularly amend your garden soil with well-rotted compost. This is a very important part about rotted compost to improve overall soil structure. Sounds pretty good to me. And we can proceed with adding some more features into our Plant Doctor app. Concerning the view we have here and about how to make it look more understandable while we are reading, I'm telling the prototyping agent to reorganize the user interface and make it easier to understand the diagnosis report, making sure all points have proper margin. Improve the general view of the user interface, that is the UI, and make it more modern. Proper margin here means it should separate the various points and make it easier to comprehend. We proceed. Now let's upload another leaf and see how it will organize the feedback we will get. We can move straight to a new tab and do this. This time around, I've uploaded another image, the third image, and let's continue to see how different the diagnosis result or report will come through. Okay, and here we have it. I think this view is much better. It first of all gives a short summary of all the recommendations it has made here, and it still joins up all the text here. So we'll use another method to make sure it takes note of separating the various points mentioned in the recommended care plan. I'll just screenshot and use the screenshot for the prompt. After taking screenshot of the recommended care plan section, I'll upload to the prototyping agent and I'm telling it the diagnosis report is pretty well organized now, but the points in the recommended care plan text need to be formatted and margin given between the various points. After uploading my image, I'll submit. I believe the necessary update has been done and we'll test again. So we keep making necessary modifications and testing and going step by step, and at this point I believe we have made some good progress. Here again we have a new view and I think this is pretty perfect. As at now, we see all the main points listed separately. It mentions for the plan uploaded, it shows an exclamation sign showing it is pretty important. Now it provides us with the various points we can check and easily read and see what next to do. I think this feature is pretty good to go, and we can proceed with the next features. Before we proceed to add more features to this application, let's run another diagnosis Using leaves we believe are pretty okay compared to the leaves with deficiency we have been uploading. So we can see if it can give us different perspectives based on the actual looks of the plant. I'll click here, diagnose another plant. Seems it ran into an issue. I'll just restart the app and run another diagnosis. I've uploaded another plant that looks pretty okay, and for the symptoms, I won't try to give it some detailed perspective so that we should not look at it from just the view of our symptoms we have listed. We should actually allow it make its own diagnosis from the image recognition. I'll just type for the symptoms natural leaves. Wow, this is surprising. In its remarks, it first of all says the plant is healthy. From our previous diagnosis, it constantly shows the plant needs care and has issues, and its confidence rate was also 90% plus, and it usually shows us symptoms or issues with the plant, but in this case it just goes straight and says healthy plant. Its recommendation, it says your plant appears to be healthy based on the provided image and symptoms. The leaves are green and turgid, showing no obvious signs of wilting, discoloration, spots, or pest infection. The few small specks on the leaves do not indicate a significant issue. To maintain its health, continue with good general plant care. There's a point here worth noticing. It says, the few small pecks on the leaf do not indicate a significant issue. And these are the small pecks. This looks like a pollen grain that maybe just flew and dropped on the leaf. The small brown texture on the leaf, they are not actually part of this leaf. So for this agent to be able to notice that the few small pecks on the leaf do not indicate a significant issue, it means it actually does some image recognition. It doesn't just hallucinate and tell us something we may like or not like to hear, and so on. So at this point, I'm even more confident that our agent in the background, following the agentic steps or the agentic flow we did provide, I'm much confident at this point that it follows what an agentic system actually does, which are perception, reasoning, and action. And from the report or the summary we just got here, I believe, or we can all realize, the agent right here follows the necessary steps. Now we'll proceed to adding more features and make this even more robust. Moving further to adding more features to our app, here I'll say in the click to upload feature, add a feature where users can launch device camera and take picture of a plant. Then I've taken screenshot of this section and I'll send to the typing agent to make an update to the feature. Okay, so we have some feedback. Here is the feature to use camera, which I'll try out right away. To test this feature on a mobile device, first we'll have to make our app public. So we can scan the QR code and use a mobile phone device to preview our app and do the necessary testing. Right away, I'll go ahead to launch on my mobile device. So I'm scanning. I'll launch in my browser. Okay, and here I have the app. First, I would need to sign in. I have signed into the account we already created. Now I'll click on use camera. Currently, I don't have any plant in front of me, so I will just scan the picture we already have, the picture we have been using for my gallery. Now I have to give permission for the app to use my camera. This is the app plant in front of me, which I'll scan or click on capture. And I have captured the plant. Now I can as well give it some tips. I'll just put natural leaves, and I'll click on diagnose plant. Diagnosis running. Okay, and it has also given us some feedback, and the feedback looks positive because from my human eyes I can tell this plant is quite okay. I mean, not having some deficiencies like the previous plants we did tested, and it shows the plant here is healthy. So I believe the camera feature is working just fine. Now we'll move back into making more addition into our app features. So back into our prototyping agent and adding new feature, I'm telling it that the camera feature works just fine. Now add a feature to save diagnostics report in user account history so that we can keep the history of plants we have been scanning over a period of time. For this purpose, we can have the ability to go back and check on the before of a plant we had scanned and check the current status of the plant, and we can easily compare and see if the diagnosis and the recommendations are working. Okay, so we have a feature here showing history. Now we'll scan another plant and check later on if it will be found in the history. So real quick, I'll test another plant. I've run a new scan and let's check on our history. So the agent is doing some work and now we have a tab for our history. So it gives us a drop down where we can see the full recommended care, or we can just view a short caption per each plan we had scanned. Let me start from the top. We can view the date and time of scan. We can view a short caption of the feedback from scan, and we can also view the tags related to the plan we just scanned. That is yellow leaves, wilting, brown spots, and we can see its remarks at once, needs care. Then we can also have the feature to check on the drop down for the recommended care plan. I think this is pretty cool. Okay, at this point we can add one more feature and proceed to conclude. For a better user experience, it is good to add some theme options, that is dark mode, light mode, and system theme. I'll go straight to letting our prototyper know that is what we need at this time. I'm telling the prototyper agent that the diagnosis history feature works just fine. Now for the purpose of a better user experience, add light, dark, and system theme modes. But before that, I'll check settings for user account and see if this feature has been implemented. Okay, it shows it has not been implemented, so I'll then go ahead to implement this feature. I have updated my prompt. I say the diagnosis history feature works just fine. Now for the purpose of a better user experience, in the user profile icon under settings, add light, dark, and system theme modes. We have our various theme modes. Currently it is in system. Now I'll switch to light mode. Okay, which works just fine. Dark mode, system. Alright, that's awesome. Now let's check the settings and see if anything has been added here. Okay, but for now I don't think we need some features under settings. Now I notice the diagnosis history has been cleared, so I'll tell the prototyping agent to make sure the diagnosis history should be persistent even after refreshing the browser tab or after logging out and logging in again. Here is my prompt to make sure the history always stays recorded. I'm telling the prototyping agent the theme modes work just fine, but I noticed for the diagnosis history, after refreshing the page, the history disappears. I need it to be persistent even after refreshing the page or after logging out and logging in to the user profile or to the user account. Then we proceed. Okay, so now it gives us feedback. It says you hit on a key point. The diagnosis history disappears because it's currently stored in a temporary in-memory array. To make it persistent, we need to connect to a database. I will use Firebase Firestore for this, which is perfect for storing user-specific data like diagnosis history. So it says create Firebase project. I'll click on create. At this point, we'll make some tweaks to our app homepage to make it even more catchy. So I've used Gemini to generate a better image for our hero section for our app landing page or our app home screen. So here is my prompt: image of an AI plant doctor wearing a stethoscope and diagnosing a plant. So here's our image. Now I'll go to our prototyping agent and provide this image for it to replace with the current image we have on our landing page. In my prompts, I'm telling the prototyping agent to replace the app landing page or home screen main image with the image I have uploaded. So let's see how that works. Just like that, our app has a facelift. Now let's open this in a new browser tab and see what we get. And here is our new tab. On our landing page, we have a feature to as well change to different color modes. Now we're in light mode. Looks pretty decent. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We can as well switch back to dark mode, system mode, currently light mode. Pretty awesome. Here we have a small icon representing our logo and our app name, My Plants Doctor. We can switch various modes. You can click sign in to get started. So sign in here is to log into our account we already created. Get started is to start afresh and create a new account. Now our hero section, it says your personal plant health expert. Snap a photo of your plant's leaf and our AI will diagnose its health, providing you with expert care tips. Going forward, how it works. A health check in 3 simple steps. Keeping your plants healthy has never been easier. 1. Snap a leaf. Step 2. Get AI diagnosis. Step 3. Receive care plan. Now let's log into our account and check what we have. I've clicked on sign in. There's some work going on in the background. Okay, here we can log into our account we already created. After signing in, we have the feature to click to upload an image from our storage. We can use our camera, provide snippets from our observation of our plants. I can click to diagnose. We have our app history, theme settings, light mode, dark mode, system. For now, we'll continue with light mode. At this point, I'll proceed to preview our app on a mobile device. I'll first of all make our app public, then scan the QR code and launch in my browser. So here on my mobile device, here is the view I got. I can switch to light mode and I can view the various cards like we previewed on the web page. I can switch again to dark mode and for real, it looks pretty decent. So there we have it.
I'm delighted we made it through vibe coding this amazing Plant Doctor app. Do check out the full course playlist, Vibe Coding with Google Firebase, a complete no-code to advanced AI application development course. Do well to support our efforts with a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!